Hello and welcome to another Coffee with the Angels. I'm Katie Kiefer, your host of Coffee with the Angels and of awakentheinnerlight.com. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about me and more about Coffee with the Angels, you can go to awakentheinnerlight.com or coffeewiththeangels.com. Both URLs will take you to my main website, though Coffee with the Angels will take you straight to the blog. So feel free to do that if you would like to know more. I sit down in the morning and I write, and it's really interesting what comes out. I do have to be careful to avoid overthinking it. You'll see that there's, a piece that's crossed out here. Well, that's because I was overthinking it. I went, no, stop. Angels, tell me, show me what I'm doing. What are we talking about here? So this is an adventure. I don't know where we're going with it yet. Just taking every step as best I can. And I hope you really do find this to be useful and helpful. Maybe some aha moments for you, some epiphanies, maybe some more understanding of yourself or others that you know. This has helped me to have a much greater understanding of myself, of where I came from, and not necessarily where I'm going, but definitely where I came from. And just understanding how I work, how I operate. This goes hand in hand with a lot of what I've learned and done over the last decade. So this is just a new venture, and I hope you find it helpful. So today's writing is on positive stimulation. The angels say, the world has been negative for so long that what is really healthy, positive stimulation has been neglected at best and at worst, demonized. We can see this easily. Even you, as you read this, positive stimulation, what comes to mind? This is what your association is. Most have a response that in some way feels shameful or unsafe. In truth, positive stimulation is something every human needs all their lives. Babies need it for healthy brain and emotional development. Adults need it to form healthy bonds with others and to reduce stress, all of which aids well-being. Your world has had a plethora of negative and neutral stimulation. If you look around your society and think about what healthy relationships look like, you can hear the schoolyard taunts. It's as if healthy affection and kindness are something to avoid. You have been falsely informed by well-meaning people. This has been based deeply in false beliefs. This is changing and quickly. Yet it takes a bit of time for humanity to catch up and mature. Many of you avoid getting too close to others or being part of groups. Both were once central to survival, and in many ways still is. Your avoidance leaves you feeling lonely and often inadequate. The idea that negative responses will produce positive changes is faulty. In fact, the concept of positive has been adulterated. A negative consequence of sticking your finger in the outlet is a shock that hurts. It usually teaches one to avoid that action. You have been taught that avoiding an electric shock is positive. In fact, it is neutral. You have a false sense of positivity in many ways. It is time to change that. There is a large sense of if it's not negative, then it is good or positive. When you are seeking acceptance, love, kindness, and belonging, you settle for not negative. This is unfulfilling. We encourage you to seek positive stimulation, which encourages you to think, act, and be positive. It is fulfilling, encouraging, and satisfying. It is also deeply rooted in reciprocity. Just as hurt people, people who feel good and healthy help others feel good. There is much work to be done. You must shift into a greater maturity as a collective and learn what positive stimulation of mind, body, soul really is. Your playground snickers and sneers are negative and separate you from your own well-being. They also indicate beliefs and feelings you may need to adjust so you can increase your well-being. It is time for the next step of the ascension and evolution. This is to grow up. You know well the difference between knowing something and truly deeply getting it. Through this time of growing up, you will learn to put into practice all that you have learned through the course of waking up. Your ascension is truly just getting underway. It can be likened to a cross-continent journey. You'll stay a while in some places, breeze through others, and sometimes revisit a place you've been before. There is a lot of information available to you intuitively and by people that can help you. Do not discount science and studies. Be discerning and seek correlation. Be open to and seek the highest truth. It will ease any growing pains. And that's what they've had to say. So I'm really curious to see where we're going with this and what happens, because the idea of maturity was something I don't know that we've really given enough credit. You know, we've had a lot of, oh, people are waking up, people are waking up, people are waking up. We hear it, really pay attention. You hear people speaking the right language, but it's clear that they don't get it. There's times I speak a language and I'm like, I have no freaking clue what this means. I don't get it yet. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of that the next step is that we will absolutely get it. We will and are moving forward in maturity. And a very large part of that seems to be emotional maturity. You know, for a lot of us, especially Gen X and millennials, you know, we've been left with a lot of peers. You know, our parents weren't available a lot. They did the best they could, but we spent a lot of time with peers. And so there was a whole lot of peer rearing happening for many of us. And you know what? None of us were capable of doing that in a mature way because we didn't have the development or maturity to do it. And so we are learning now. We are learning now. And I just am fascinated by this. I really am. And I just really look forward to see what's happening. And also, you know, if you've got questions or comments, be sure that you get on the blog itself and give me some feedback there. If you've got a question you don't want to post publicly, you can use the pop-up box and send me a message there. So anyway, lest I ramble on anymore because I'm like, wow, this is cool stuff. I will bid you adieu. And I hope you have a really great day, and I hope you do find this to be helpful. So anyway, I will see you next time. Have a great one.